Yep, we're good, but that that makes it sound so distressing about Sylvia. She's fine. she's healthy.
Yeah. Hmm. Great.
All right, wonderful.
Yeah.
Dawood, if you'd like to go first.
Great. Yeah. So, yeah, I just pass over to Brian once I'm done, so that Brian will just take over with this session. Yeah, but I'm super excited to be here today, and I know we're going to be learning a lot of things, and Power Apps is actually amazing. There were times ago when we could organize a workshop, and then you need an app to quickly, plug into your AI model you built. And it was really terrible. Like, I mean, it was really bad because you could build the models, but you can't project it in how it will function in app. But Power Apps make it more great. And today we are here with Brian, and Brian will be doing some magical stuff with Power Apps. So whether you have more coding experience, less coding experience, it doesn't matter. You can also do it. So Brian, over to you. Thanks so much for joining us here.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks for having me on again. Today, I am going to be showing you some ways to get started in something like Power Apps, and it's going to be like we're going to do some 5-minute projects, as well as some longer ones, using some content that we made this week as a team. So it's going to be exciting. And by the end of this, we will have a Kahoot. So make sure that you stay to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm ready for the Kahoot.
It's so funny because I use Kahoot as a teacher, and I'm so glad that everybody else is using Kahoot now.
Use it. Yeah. No.
Yeah. It is fun. It is.
Oh.
All right, I'll get started.
Yeah, but Brian, before you start, if you have any questions, just put it in the chat, all right? To our audience, if you have any question, just post it to the chat. Just let us know whatever, and then keep tweeting it and calling your people in. All right. Thanks so much, Brian.
Yeah, Dawood and Salman will be pinging me every now and then to ask those questions. So please make sure that you chime in. All right, I always start with a problem. What is the problem that we want to solve in a tool like Power Apps, right? You don't want to go into something like Power Automate, Power Apps just for the sake of using that tool. Here's my problem. I want to show and create experiences with a list of students that I have. In the case of somebody like a Microsoft Student Partner, this might be like the organization that you have on campus, your school club. How do you keep track of people in your organization? How do you keep track of people inside the club? So here I've got a table in Microsoft Excel, and I'm going to build an app straight from that spreadsheet. It's going to be amazing, right? You take your existing spreadsheet skill and turn it into an app. Okay, first thing I do in this spreadsheet, I need to format this as a table. And I need to make sure that I say that the top row is going to be that table, or it's going to be the header. Now the table's formatted. By the way, this feature, it just came out in Excel Online kind of recently. You go to, it's normally something that I do in the desktop, and I'll show you the desktop experience right now. So previously, you could only open up and format as a table on Excel Online, on Excel Desktop. So right now I've got another table here. Oh, shoot. Let me just go ahead and close this. So the step that you would do on a normal table is you name that table. Table 1 is not very descriptive. So here's an example of that. Now, once it has a name, I'll just keep it like that for now. Once it has a name, you can use this table inside an app. I'm going to go to Power Apps now. This is called the Power Apps portal. Today, we're going to be creating what's called a Canvas app. There are two different kinds of apps, and then there's a portal. Canvas apps are these, what you see on the editor, on the studio, is what you get. It's called a WYSIWYG experience. Salman and Dawood, have you guys used WordPress or tools like that? Oh, actually, you guys use MailChimp. MailChimp is a WYSIWYG editor for email.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to create this.
Go ahead. Use WordPress a bit, yeah, but not really like professional level. Just play around with it. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do here is create an app. It's a 3-screen app from data. I chose OneDrive for Business because that's where my spreadsheet is. I click Create. And now I have a connection to my OneDrive. And you could see over here that I also have a connection to Sharepoint and some of the existing tables that exist. I select Student, choose that table that I made, and it's going to do some thinking. And it's going to generate a 3-screen app for me. This is cheating. I was showing this to Salman the other day. And Salman and Dawood and Sabiha. They're like, you know how long it would take to make this normally? This is
literally
the app.
like the hardest thing normally, or maybe not the hardest, but the most lengthy thing is like setting up APIs.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the hardest thing, but it's like it's long, and like deserializing data from REST APIs, things like that. It gets a bit tedious.
Yeah, and this could take like days, I mean weeks, to even build apps like this. I'm just so much happy about Power App stuff.
All right. So here's the app in its current form. First thing I like to do is I'm a stickler for making things look clean and pretty. I like the office blue theme. That's the first thing I do. It just looks nicer. Okay, it's a nicer shade of blue. All right. So the app is pretty much done as is. Let me just walk you through some of the parts of it. Okay, here at the top, I've got the title of that table. Now I didn't rename it in the actual spreadsheet, but I could just double click it and then just change that text. So if you are familiar with editing things in like PowerPoint, right? You double click the text and then you can change it. You can see the little dots on the side here. Those dots let you resize things just like you would in Word, Excel, and so on. I'm going to call this students. Down here at this control, it's called a gallery. It's a better way of showing a table. So instead of showing a row of information side by side, you can show it in a better way. One entry will include the first field, second field, and the third field. There are also layouts that you can choose to change the look of it overall. So maybe you want to emphasize a picture. Suppose you have like a URL in one of the columns. Maybe you wanted to emphasize just the text, or maybe you only had one field of text. I'm going to keep it the 3 fields, and I'll show you how to configure it right away. First thing that you'll want to do is click Fields over here, that Edit button. And you can configure what column you want to show in that spot. So what's the most important thing in this list of students? Well, their first name is the most important thing. What's another important thing? I think I'm going to include the last name in that first line. I'll show you that in a moment.
Okay.
I could show their student number.
Okay.
And then the third line, grade level is fine for me.
Nice.
So let's go to that first line. Salman and Dawood, how familiar are the two of you with Microsoft Excel?
To the extent where you can do maths equations, things like that.
Okay.
Using it for, the general stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, not like crazy powerful. Using it to the
Yeah.
maximum of its ability. Like I know it's possible because
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't go into macros basically.
I think I, on the other hand, I think I used to leverage on Excel to draw my budget and calculate, make calculation of how much is being generated and all those stuff. And also some reporting activities, right? Like a monthly report of activities and all that. Yeah, and lastly, just teach it to people in classrooms.
Yep. Exactly. So one of the things that a lot of people do in Excel is text manipulation. So you take one cell and then you combine it with another one. And that exact same capability, if you hop over to the screen again, is right inside Power Apps. So here I'm using the concatenate method inside Power Apps. And I want to include the last name with the first name. So I can use the ampersand symbol. I want to include a space between the first name and the last name.
Yeah.
And I'm going to include the last name. Now you'll see over here on the left side, there's this item. That just means the respective row inside that table. So I'm going to include the respective row's last name in that line. And you can see it now includes not just Adele, but Adele Vance with the last name.
Can you do string string interpolation?
I do what?
How is that?
String interpolation?
Like,
Relation.
yeah,
So
come again.
so in C sharp, for example, I could use the dollar sign and then use quotations. And then whenever I want to use a variable as my data, like as text, I would use the curly braces and I would just type the curly brace name. So are you looking at the stream right now?
Mm.
So okay, I'll open Notepad. So say if I want to do something like, I want to do like text in C sharp, I could do like console right line, and then I could do this whole, okay, hey, and then I could use first name like this, as
Mhm.
opposed, and then I could do within this, I could keep going. So I would do like, how are you? So my variable
Mm.
here would be first name. So up here you could have like string first name equals Brian.
Yeah.
So in this situation, it has the nice flow, so I don't have to do a whole and space and then, another and with a
Yeah. So,
comma.
so,
Would
so
this be
yeah,
possible?
I get it. I think so. Basically, what you're asking, Brian, is there any other cleanest way to concatenate strings? I think that's
Mhm.
what someone was trying to
Oh,
ask.
just Mary's asking. The point of the dollar sign is basically so that you can embed your variables within the string. If you don't have the dollar sign, you would have, like, for example, you do 0, and then later on you would have a comma and you would reference the variable name like this.
Uh, so
Um,
that's how you do it in like traditional code.
yeah, so this is the, like, in standard code you would have this. Or you
I
could
Yeah.
do
see.
the whole concatenation thing, which you are saying, where you have like this, and then you have this,
Uh,
and you have like all these things like first name. You could do that concatenation method as well, but like for me, string interpolation is the nicest way because you just have to do that. Then everything. You Instead
gotcha.
of having to do everything, you just like
So,
that. You
so,
just
so in all, I think maybe Brian would just help us answer whether there is a better way. I mean, of doing the string concatenation or not, and then we can move on
Yeah.
from there. Yeah.
Two ways. So I showed you the ampersand, but you could also use the concatenate function, which is similar to right line there, where it's comma separated.
mm-hmm.
So that's another way of doing it. Whichever way you prefer is both of them work. All right, let me show you guys the other sections. Let me walk you through like how does this app, this 5-minute app work? It shows all of that table in a better way, right? So you stack that. Then if you click one of these, it's wired so that you can see the full details. Now you can see all of the rows of data instead of just the one. Let's say I wanted to edit this entry for Adele Vance in that table. I click that edit button and I can make a change. Maybe Adele changed their name. Maybe their first name had changed. They wanted to include their middle name in that. Well, you can make a change here. Adele and middle name. When I click that check icon, it's going to save that back into that table. You can see the changes already committed here. And then I go back and it's just all there. This way, you don't have to tell somebody, hey, could you go into this spreadsheet and then update that cell? You send them to the app, they click only the thing that they need to do, and they revise it in that familiar kind of experience. And you could delete things by clicking the delete icon, and boom, Adele Vance is gone now. So this is like just out of the box, the first experience that you should make inside Power Apps. All right.
Great.
What do you guys think so?
I think it's too crazy how much you can do, like
Within the
like
short
this
possible time.
straight
I mean,
away.
it's insane. It's crazy, honestly, but it's lovely. Yeah, we enjoying it.
So here's the other thing. Like it also has search capabilities. So you don't even have to. This is not inside Excel today, right? You have the search bar at the top, and let's say I wanted to look up Ashley right there, right? Boom, it's just there. And I like to show people what's inside the formulas because I love the formula language. It's not something to be afraid of. I click in here, go into this formula, and it's going to be very familiar for people who use Excel. I click this format text. Okay, so what's inside here? Let's start inside and go outside. Here's my table. It's my table name. That same notation is used inside Microsoft Excel as well. I'm using a search function to search in it, looking at the text inside this thing and comparing it against the first name column, the gender column, the grade column. What results from this is a table. So it's just paring down that table. Then I sort it by the first name column. And there's this other variable. If I click the sort icon, it'll sort it descending or ascending. Let me show you what I mean. So if I play this app, let's remove this. I can sort this ascending, descending, bam, in just a click. So that's already done for you. Let's say I have a new student. I want to put in Adele Vance. Adele back in. I click that check icon. And because this is sorted, Adele Vance is going to appear at the top or bottom, depending on how it's sorted. So that's
Awesome.
great and wonderful. That's a 3-screen app.
It's amazing.
And then, yeah, go ahead.
It's amazing. It's actually amazing. Yeah, just enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm going to be showing you something even cooler, is the templates. This is nice and all, but
Is this
what
the
if you
picture
wanted
stuff?
some more functionality, right? So I'm going to show you my favorite template, and then I'm going to show you the work that we did this week on creating a template.
Great.
Built it in 48 hours. Okay. So you like that and everything, and it's great, but what if you wanted something with more oomph? Over here, when you go to the portal, make.powerapps.com,
Okay.
you can access Create, click Create, and you can see all these different apps that we have. My favorite one is called Meeting Capture. It lets you do meetings combining tools like OneNote, because I love OneNote. It lets you plan the next meeting. So let's create that. I click this template. It comes up with the name. I'm going to erase the last digits there. And I click Create. So it's going to try to build that in this time. Now, while that's loading, let me show you some other things on the portal. This one I like to call out. We have 2 template apps where you learn Power Apps inside Power Apps. It's a template that gives you instructions.
It's Inception.
Awesome.
So learning experience number 1 is aka.ms/power up. Sorry. So this is learning experience number 1. Learning experience number 2 that you should do is that template for Power Apps training in Office. And we have a second one. Oh, that's the one. We have another one somewhere, but I'm not seeing it right now. Okay, so this should be done now. First thing it's going to ask you to do is use your single sign-on. You're already logged into Power Apps. It's going to log you into the other services that you need. For meeting capture, we need the Office 365 Users Connector, Outlook, OneNote, Planner. Bam, one click. it just puts those connectors inside the app.
That's super crazy how you can just do that. It's like this lengthy process just shortened in a click.
It's just amazing.
And so one of our MVPs, Todd Baginski, helped us with a video here. How do you create this thing from the ground up? You can watch a video on that. But we're just going to go into the app. Let's see what's inside this. Now, I'm inside a demo account, so I don't have my calendar in this. That's why this appears blank. But suppose that you had an event. You pull up the meeting. It knows the attendees who attend that meeting. It has the details of that meeting, so whatever was in the description of that. And then as the meeting goes on, the timer runs. So whenever you actually start this meeting, this thing will be kicked off. Now I'm in the edit mode, and I didn't pull up an event, so it's not running right now. But as you type event, as you type notes, you might say, okay, today's meeting agenda, and you might put bullet points. Topic number 1, topic 2, and so on, right? And here's the coolest part. So Salman and Dawood, let's say you, the three of you, the three of you, including Sabiha, let's say the three of you are planning like the next call for MSP Inspire, or you're planning something for Imagine Cup, right?
Yeah.
And you want to say, we just had this meeting. What did we take away from it?
Exactly.
How do you normally do that?
I personally use Microsoft To Do and OneNote because of the easy sync, and they're just my go-to products because I can just use those. But yeah. Yeah.
And how do you do that?
Yeah, I think often I just also default to using Notepad, and when I'm in meetings with Salman, I often tell Salman that, okay, Salman, just take a note of the meeting for us. So Salman usually handles it.
Yeah, so I normally do actual like impromptu notes on Notepad because you can just do the Windows R. Yeah.
So what if you could integrate it directly? So you're taking notes and you want to send it to something right away. Well, this is the exact solution for that problem, right? You type something in where, okay, so maybe one of your action items you're assigning to Dawood.
Sure.
And you want to say Dawood is going to be create next event. And then you could click the plus sign and assign a date. You could assign it to a person inside the organization. So maybe you're looking for Adele. Oh my gosh, there it is.
That's insane. This is literally Microsoft Planner made in Power Apps.
That's unfair.
Yeah, it's
It looks nicer. Like, no, I'm not saying like Planner looks bad. Planner looks really nice, but I mean you're using the whole graph connector. You've got the picture loaded. That sort of thing doesn't happen in Planner.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Wow.
So here's the. Why do we even create Power Apps to things that already exist? Planner exists, OneNote exists, Outlook exists. Those three things exist. Why do we even bother making an app for this? The purpose of apps is you can bring those things together. Right? Here's an experience where all of them are in one place instead of in three disparate locations. Right? You're converging the connections. Okay, so what I've shown you is an introductory experience with a 3-screen app. I've shown you this amazing template, my favorite template. What I'm going to walk through next is a template that we built this week to solve a real world problem. People have been asking us for this, and we need something like this here at Microsoft. So let me show you.
Awesome.
You may have heard the announcement this week. This is a project that's taken the efforts of people across Microsoft. So
I think I saw a tweet like that. I just don't remember, but a few days ago I think I saw some tweets. Can't wait to experience it.
yeah. This is called the Crisis Communication App. It's a set of solution, or it's a set of tools to communicate better in times of need. So your need could be anything that is urgent, right? I'm thinking in my case, as somebody like a teacher, if I have a fire drill, I want to make sure that everybody has the information right at their fingertips. So if you run out the door, if you evacuate during a fire drill, you don't have to worry about, okay, I forgot to take out the backpack with the supplies. I don't remember the instructions, right? You just bring your phone with you, and you have all the documentation for that kind of a situation.
Exactly. Yeah.
So this could be used for any kind of scenario like that. So you may have heard of this thing, the coronavirus that's come out, that's
COVID-19.
affecting the world.
Yeah,
And
me
you want to
and
make
me
sure.
and two of my friends were doing a research paper on it actually, on like the
Oh,
I was focusing on the economical impact of the coronavirus, and then I think we were predicting where it's going to go next and things. So it's a future paper we're working on. Hopefully, it's going to be out soon. It's
are you
being
using some AI for that?
so actually. So it's a collaboration with me, Vedant, and Damilola. So shout out to them.
Yeah,
Vedant's awesome. So is
yeah,
Damilola.
Vedant. He ran a
Yeah, he
workshop.
did. Yeah, he did using showing the Power Apps thing after watching using the AI builder.
Yeah.
So it's I did suggest that perhaps what we should do is we use like machine learning or some sort of computer vision to analyze patients with the coronavirus, and then put that in a neural network, do some predictions. But that's going to be quite hard because we don't have enough sample. I'm not going to be able to go and sample a coronavirus
I'm going to
patient.
work against you. I hope that there are fewer samples.
Yes, definitely.
That is my hope.
Yeah.
Data is not what. This is not where we want to go.
Definitely. I'm not saying we need more coronavirus people, but
I'm just being hard on.
no.
All right, so let me show you guys this this app. It's a set of two apps. There is an app for bringing up the information that's important to your organization, or your school, or your group. There is an app for administering it all. So here's the full documentation that comes straight from that blog post. I'm not going to walk through the documentation itself because I already know the instructions. So I'm going to go straight to aka.ms / this communication app, crisis communication solution. This is going to take me to GitHub. And I'm going to download the zip file. Download. As with any solution, always use the most up-to-date content. So here I've downloaded my package. And the first thing that I'll do is import the admin app. So I go to make.powerapps.com. I import the admin app. Now, I've already done this, so I'm just going to show you the steps of finding that file. It includes a zip file. So that package that has just been downloaded, you're going to extract it and import the version that says crisis communication admin.zip. You go into the app, and you're going to need to configure a few things. This is a good pattern, by the way. You have your app, and then you have an admin app to set the configuration in the main app. That way, you can have that main app running. And because it relies on the administration app for some of the settings, you can just use that administration app to change the main app without having to go into the main app. Okay, so how does this work? Well, I go into the administration settings, and I could put in things like a logo, a URL to that. I could put in the Teams channel ID that is used for communicating back to a channel for requests. I could change the kind of notification that comes out when we create a new news item. Do I want to email blast everybody with this new news item during a crisis? Do I want to send a Teams notification? That's an adaptive card. Or do I want to send a push notification to everybody? You get to choose. And in the app, there are 8 different experiences so far. You can share your status. How many do I want to include the feature for somebody to share the status? Do I want to have people request help? Do I want to have emergency contacts, and so on? And then I save those settings. What that does is, on the actual app is probably going to turn up blank right now. Now you'll see here's the different experiences. Make a request, emergency contacts, company news. If I choose to disable one of these, so let's say I don't want to include world news. I click save.
Okay.
I go over here. And, I think it was already disabled. And there it is, right? This is an old version. So those kinds of next part of the steps is to import the actual app, the one that you see here. You do the same steps. You go to apps, import, and choose the file.
Okay.
From that
the one
package.
you downloaded.
Exactly. Once you extract it, there's going to be a file in it called crisis communication. Now, this is one of the versions that I'm working on. Crisiscommunication.zip. Those digits. That's going to bring up the app that you see here, and there's some configuration to do in it. We package this app to SharePoint. So when you create the SharePoint lists, you will need to rewire this app to your versions of that SharePoint list.
Okay, so
Yeah.
a very quick one though. SharePoint is one of the many things you get from the Office 365 package. Yeah, and you can basically create a list, and a list could be like, take it like a table of data of people. Let's say students' first name, last name, and email. So that's basically SharePoint. Yeah.
Lists could be lists like that, like people. It could be a list of places. You can have a list of tasks, a list of work items. I would let me describe data sources like this. Earlier, we used Excel.
Yeah.
And Excel is a perfect data source to start with. I wouldn't say it's the best place to end with. The next level up is SharePoint. you have a lot of capability there, a lot of rich capability there. And then when you want to get into even more robust data sources, you get into things like Azure SQL, you
SQL.
get into things like Common Data Service. They have relational, it's relational data. It's got security layers, it's got roles. So those are some of the things that you can expect from those higher level data sources.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
it's
question.
incredible. Like SQL, Azure SQL is pretty cool because you have like all the capabilities with, having an elastic pool or like being able to control your data to that extent. You can put like Azure Data Factory. You can go very, very, very in depth with all these things. So if you're like an experienced developer or in DevOps,
Mhm.
you have all that power still there whilst creating a Power App.
Yeah, and what I like about SQL is you could copy paste a statement to create tables. And if somebody wants to create the same tables,
Just
you just
copy and
copy
paste it.
paste.
And then have all your drop scripts and everything. Oh,
Yeah.
the days of
All right.
typing SQL scripts.
Another part of this solution that we packaged up is the flow that creates those SharePoint lists. So I go to flow.microsoft.com.
Oops, sorry, I need to put your screen up.
Oh, problem. I click My Flows. I click Import. And again, I've already imported it into this environment, but I'll just show the steps. You choose that file, crisis communication, or I'm sorry, deploy. You deploy lists.zip. I don't think I have it in this folder. Deploy lists.zip. And once it's in, you have a flow that looks like this. I'll just show the first steps.
Okay.
There's a few things to configure here. How does this work? Well, when you click this button, or when you run this flow, it's going to do these things. It's going to declare a SharePoint list. So here I put the name of the SharePoint list that I'm using, or I'm sorry, the SharePoint site that I'm using. I have an existing site, so I don't have to create a new one. If you don't already have a SharePoint site, you would create a SharePoint site as your very first step.
Yeah.
But because I have an existing one, I don't want to create another one. So I use an existing one. And then you can just copy paste your site list, site here. You can configure the app name. This affects some of the descriptions of these lists. And then down here, there are different scopes for the different lists that are created. So here's a list that includes all the logos. Here's a list that includes all the admin feature flags and so on, and then repeated for all of the other parts. So you don't have to understand what's going on in any of the rest of this, because a good template has you configure just a couple things, and all you configure in this is just the list or the site. Yeah, I like this one a lot because you could just give this to somebody and it just creates the table structure for them without them needing to do any of it. I'm not going to click run because I already have the lists, and this would fail if I did it.
Okay.
But you click run and it'll do those steps.
Cool. So when you
failure is a good thing.
Oh yeah. So it succeeded. Okay.
Super cool. The name crisis though, is it because of the current crisis? Is it inspired from the current crisis? Like, I mean, crisis, as the name goes. Because I know currently,
crisis is
that,
like
uh-huh.
I mean like a bad thing, which is going on.
Yeah, crisis is a scary word, but it's a very how do I describe it? It's a very official. Like you can go into get a degree into crisis management,
Okay.
So it's a widely adopted word for scenarios such as this, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah. I think
yeah.
basically I was referring to the coronavirus though, because I think that's the biggest crisis that we have now. So I was just saying, was the word crisis inspired by, the current situation we have all over the world?
Yeah, yeah, it is inspired by it. But I think this can widely cover a lot of different scenarios,
Yeah.
whether it's an earthquake. I'm from
Yeah.
California, and in California, we get a lot of earthquakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my last year of teaching, we had like 5 false alarms where we had to evacuate.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Sorry.
false alarms.
Yikes.
No,
We just got fire alarms in our like schools, and
Earth, California has both fires as well as earthquakes.
yeah, we had like a fire alarm, I think, in a building which doesn't even have anywhere that can be a fire, which is pretty. Like our whole lecture just got like cancelled because of that. We had to reschedule it, but
Gotcha.
but yeah, that's as far as it goes. We used to in
So
primary school do evacuation practice, I think, for like World War Two.
now in a small school that like mine, you can get word across the entire campus in short order, right?
Yeah,
But
but
on
word
a
of mouth.
college campus, like in a college campus where you are right now, how do you reach miles of campus land, right? It's really hard. So a tool like this helps to get communication across.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is one that we're working on. We're continuing to improve. In fact, right after this call, I'm going to be improving the UI, making it pretty. So you can
Oh,
expect a
Oh, that's
new
so awesome.
version coming out soon.
You're
Um,
working on the weekends.
this is important.
It's a crisis. Yeah, that's true.
This is very important. It's something that we care a lot about. So I'm hoping it helps people in the right way.
See, but
Well, we are coming
definitely.
close to time. Um, Let me review a few things before we jump to the Kahoot. Uh, there is some content that I forgot to go over today for the Kahoot, but it's things that I went over last time. So I'm hoping that folks on the line have some of the knowledge. Are you all ready?
we got very smart people in the chat, so
Yeah.
looking forward
And
to seeing a lot of competition.
so
Uh,
actually this is the time for you guys to tweet about this session and then invite more people to join us, right? So that they get to see the last thing that Brian will be demoing, and then we go to the Kahoots. Hopefully they will not take away their first places, okay? So don't mind
okay,
inviting them.
okay, okay. I'll just show one final thing from the crisis communication app first, and then we'll get to the Kahoot. Does that work?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. What I like about making apps the most is how do you make something that's going to work for everybody? This is a huge challenge. Like I could solve a problem today making an app in what 2-3 hours, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm making something for somebody like I see Mary Thompson on the line here and Oscar. If I'm making an app that I want them to use, I have to make sure this is going to work for them. So is their organization primarily on mobile devices? Are they on desktop devices? Are they on Teams? Where are they? The only way to meet everybody's needs is to make a responsive app. Bam,
Okay.
bam. It
Oh,
just it's so helpful to make it responsive. Um, that's just one thing I wanted to show. There's helpful
agreed.
links, and this one's not populated. This is an empty demo test. Um, Experiences for contacts, right? Who do you see? What do people in the organization need to? Yeah, this is an empty app. So this is something that I really want people to make sure if they don't already have something in place, if they don't already have a central location for getting the word out, they need to use something like this and improve on this, right?
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about the app is you just throw in the additional experiences that you want, right? Add another part to this table. Okay.
Amazing.
How do you all feel? There are some modes here.
Okay.
Let's do player versus player.
Player. Okay. So audience are going to be participating in the Kahoot, right? So
Yes.
yeah, I think for anything, we will just copy the codes that they are supposed to enter into Kahoot, and then
Okay.
make sure they can participate.
Oh,
So
I'm just thinking about the stream delay. I'm not sure if I've got it ultra. Yeah, I've got ultra low latency. No, that's fine. I've got ultra low, so it should be pretty fast.
okay.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
not an issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Salman, in any case, too, you can just whatever is supposed to they are supposed to type to their phone, just copy it and paste it in the chat so that they can get it fast.
I can try
right.
type. I'll try my
So
best.
I am going to paste the number
So
in.
everyone go to this link.
Okay.
In a new tab or on your phone, it's
okay.
kahoot.it. So KAHOOIT. I'll put it on the screen as well.
Okay, and then I'm going to copy paste some instructions to you, and then I'll share my screen again. Sorry.
Sure.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, hey, Mary's on. All right.
Oh, we got it on screen. Awesome. Yeah, so at the top
Wait a
there's this
second.
link. And
How
then
do I pause this?
Nice.
how do you what? The music?
Where's
We
the
can't
note?
hear the music. It's in the top right. You haven't shared it with audio. Oh wait, you started it.
No,
How do I
think you
cancel
can
this?
close
So
it.
if you refresh. Oh, I mean,
I
think it
you
was just
can
Mary
close
who
it for
joined, so it
now.
should we just restart. It should be okay.
Sure.
So if you click play again. Sorry, Mary, we're gonna have to restart that.
Sorry.
Mary was gonna win by default.
Maybe I don't want to auto advance then. Do I click okay?
Okay. I know sometimes the music at the background can play, right?
Yeah, no, but
All right.
we've
Here's a new number. Here's a new number.
Okay.
I'll put. Oh wait, it's on the screen anyway.
Okay.
I really want to take part, but I'm not going to.
All right.
See more people joining for the Kahoot.
10 questions. Oh yeah, I do see more people joining.
I'm gonna spam everyone with Kahoot.
Awesome. Okay, so who is joining next? Mary joined. Okay.
Hey, we got Anish.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Mary.
Okay, so the top 3 people, we can give you an MSP certificate.
Hey, who's that power addict? Who is that?
Okay, I don't think that's Mary, because Mary is already there. I would have suspected that's Mary.
Oh, we have Manbir. Hey, Manbir.
Oh, Himachi.
Hey, Marintoday. Who's Growth? Is that like growth mindset for Microsoft or something? Should get someone to put the whole slogan to empower every organization and person on the planet to achieve more.
Can we join? What's Oscar's name on the screen? I think maybe Oscar is there.
Hey, Ganesh. We got Ganesh, Gat786. Plugging his username.
Hello, man. Yeah.
Hey, get everyone else to join, your friends, everyone. This is the fun, the funnest part, and I'm not gonna be able to play, so because I'm typing in the questions in the chat. So if it's laggy,
and Salmon and Dawood and Sadia, I'll need to send you all some power platypuses so that you can give them out to people
No
who win
way.
these things.
Awesome.
Oh,
Thanks
I
so
didn't.
much.
I was
That's so
thinking.
cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sure
we
everyone would love
empower
that.
more people around. Yeah, sure. That's amazing.
Let me know when you're ready to start.
So how many more
Anyone
people?
else
We have
want to
9
join?
people who hasn't joined yet. Okay.
I think
Okay. Oscar is gonna
Oscar
log
is
in.
loading it.
Anyone
You
else?
shouldn't need to log in. If you go to Kahoot.it,
Yeah,
there's no login
Himanshu.
needed.
Yeah, it's just Kahoot.it.
Play.kahoot.it is the wrong link. That's if you want to run Kahoot.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, repost the link again. Kahoot.it.
Yeah, I put it. Okay, I'm gonna have to use my typing. Try to type as fast as I can.
Mhm.
Let's see, anyone else? Anyone? Let's see. So, what would your advice be to anyone, who wants to get started in Power Apps? Would it be for them to start with the sample app you showed at the beginning?
Start with the sample app at the very beginning. Yes.
Yeah, I think that does it. That does it perfectly. Now, Salman, I think what we would have to do is to take, I don't know if the Excel sheet, the spreadsheet is shareable or something. We could just, put it on our GitHub, Inspire GitHub repo, and then let people download it from there. Yeah, so they could just have it up and running in a
Okay.
minute.
I do want to respect everybody's time.
Yeah, if you
So
got kicked out, I'm not sure what that is. I think it's a bug.
sorry about that. That was a misclick on my part.
Oh.
All right. So we can go ahead and start it now. Okay, I'm gonna click start in 3, 2, 1, bam.
Oof, it's the hype. So true or false? You can... true. I can't type this fast enough, can I?
You can create an app from a spreadsheet. That's it. True or false? This should be easy, right? Okay, Salman, you are disqualified.
What?
Oh, 6 people had yes. 3. Oh,
Okay,
that's
so
good.
the answers will be on the screen. You click it on your screen won't show the answers. You just see the buttons. I should have explained that. Apologies.
Yes. This is a little bit harder on this is a little bit harder on the on YouTube. Okay. The answer is true. You can, and that's what we did.
Create an app from spreadsheet.
Next. Scoreboard. Anush.
Okay, Anush leading. Oh, okay, that's cool.
All right.
Let's see. Himanshu, that's cool.
Yeah, the options are going to be different for each question. Ready for the next question? 3, 2, and 1. Boom. 2.
So
One of these is not part of the Power Platform. Triangle, Power Apps. Diamond, Power Virtual Agents. Circle, PowerPoint, and Square, Power BI. One of these is not part of the Power Platform.
7.
Sorry if
6,
my typing is getting
5. We're going.
Maybe I should have done 40 seconds on this.
Nice. Okay.
Correct answer, PowerPoint.
That's
It is the first with power in it, but it is not part of the Power Platform.
That was a bit tricky.
Okay, let's see how we did. Leaderboard has shifted to growth.
They've added animations now.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, next question in 3, 2, and 1. I'll read it out. 3. Where do I go to get started with Power Apps? Triangle, Instagram. Diamond, aka.ms/powerup. Circle, just start making. Square, YouTube. See Shane Young and Laura Butchers.
Okay. Who's gonna get it? Leaderboard is gonna change once again.
Okay, this was a trick question.
So then they all count? They should all count, right?
Yeah.
All of them except Instagram.
Does Instagram not count? Because maybe you have Power Apps people doing tutorials there. It's the new craze.
if I put down Twitter on this, then Twitter would be a correct answer. Twitter's a great place to go see. People like John Liu are sharing tutorials straight from their tweets. Yeah. Next. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. What is this fire here?
That means he's got a streak. So 3 in a row.
We had the
streak.
leaderboard change again.
I believe they're all on a
me.
streak.
Who is me?
Yeah. All right. Next, number 4.
And Mary joined.
What kind of app is a WYSIWYG experience? What you see is what you get. Triangle, model-driven apps. Diamond, Canvas apps.
12.
That was hard to
11,
type.
10, 9, 8, 7. We're getting there. Who's getting it? What kind of app has a WYSIWYG experience?
Canvas apps, indeed.
Some.
Next. Growth is up there. Oh, Mary. Hey, Mary just came up.
Mary was there last time, I believe.
Yeah, Mary joined
Question
from the
5.
previous leaderboard.
Which of the following is not a screen in an app from data? Browse screen, detail screen, computer screen, or edit screen?
The screen is not from data. Okay. So yeah, this is so easy to get right. Okay. Awesome. Okay, we have many people there. So.
Yeah. Let's see.
Awesome.
How did we do?
Leaderboard change. Mary comes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Ganesh making his way up.
Yeah. Okay. Ganesh is making. Yeah, Ganesh is already there.
If Ganesh gets this right, then he might.
Pulling away.
He's
Ready
got
for the
bonus.
next?
Yeah.
Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. One of these is the name of a control in Power Apps. Is it Triangle SQL, Diamond Power Automate, Circle Gallery? One of these is the name of a control in Power Apps.
Okay, this is as well easy. I know. If you've ever just typed, yeah, it's very easy. Good. Okay.
Gallery.
There we go. Gallery.
Gallery is a control. Power Automate is a product. SQL is a connector.
Query language.
Yes, we all get very excited at these. On Sundays, I play this quiz game with a bunch of others from around the world, and I always miss because I go for speed more than correct answers.
Yeah, I think
Most
I've
of the time,
learned.
I don't know the answer.
That's amazing. This was actually fun. I was just wondering, Salman, how come we couldn't get the music?
It's because he hasn't shared his screen with audio.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. Okay.
Sorry.
If you
Because
just
I did
reshare it.
choose 8-bit music. Yeah.
I know.
Okay, you guys ready?
8-bit.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
next
okay.
question. 3 more. One of these is the name of a connector in Power Apps and Power Automate. Is it Triangle, Checkbox, Diamond on Select, Circle, SharePoint?
Whoever followed the session should get it right? Yeah.
Why?
you did
Well,
mention-
that would be true about basically every question, David.
No, but this is actually a connector we are talking about. So, yeah.
Connector, SharePoint. Yeah. On Select is an action. Checkbox is a control.
Yeah.
On select
Let's see
belongs
how
to like one of the 50% of things which don't belong to Excel as well, I guess. Around
Mary came up.
50%.
Okay, so we had Mary moved up to the 3rd position. We had Ganesh stay there and Anu down. Okay, let's go and see who wins.
Got 2 more questions. Here we go. Number 8. What animal appears on a sticker for the Power Platform? Power Pug, Power Platypus, or Goose?
This is given away.
What animal appears on a sticker for the Power Platform? This is a bit tricky, right? Okay.
I feel like I feel like everybody chose the answer they wanted.
Maybe we should get
Yeah.
war.
Obviously, you could just see it.
Actual reality. So I want to make a goose one. I've got this 8-bit goose. I promise. Maybe all of these will probably become a reality eventually. But Power Pug, I think a pug is the mascot of one of the user groups that we have.
I want
So
an Azure plushie.
these might exist somewhere
Have
that
to
I
find
don't
them
know
somewhere in the office.
about. Let's see how we do.
I think we
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Pulling up
So
Wait, I
there.
don't understand. It keeps switching between highest answer streak. They have the same answer streak, but I think so. It's
It just randomly picks one. Okay.
yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's see. That was question 8. 9 and 10 next. 9. Place the Power Platform in order of when they were released. Triangle, Power BI. Diamond, AI Builder and Portals. This is a drag to answer. Circle, Power Virtual Agents. Square, Power Apps and Power Automate.
oh, there's a lot of time to think about it. Come on, get it.
Yeah, so I'll read it again. Triangle, Power BI, Diamond, AI Builder and Portals. Circle, Power Virtual Agents. Square, Power Apps and Power Automate. So you drag these in the order when they were released in the Power Platform.
I've never done the drag
so
one
cool.
before.
Yeah, it was a new question type that I'm trying.
Huh.
Okay. Yeah, get it. So who has it now? Don't tell me I just dragging though.
Don't forget to like the stream, everyone. Subscribe for more.
Yep.
This was really hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
going crazy.
In the Power Platform.
Okay.
BI, Power Apps and Power Automate were next. AI Builder and Portals, and Power Virtual Agents. That being said, there is a history to some of these, like Portals has a history being part of Dynamics, but they're as part of the platform. They came later. Same with Power Virtual Agents. There were things that preceded it, but as being part of the Power Platform, they are the newest one.
Okay.
That's a hard one. I did not go over this one earlier today. I meant to talk about it. Sorry, everybody.
This is background reading. If anyone prepared.
BI is the very first. It's the oldest one.
How to get the A stars.
Yeah.
That's what all the teachers always used to say. Do background reading.
So Mary said, "Cool. I didn't know Power BI was first. Me either. I also know. Learning experience. Good coach.
Actually,
have
not
the
all
last
the teachers say that, actually. I take that back. A lot of the teachers say to read extra to get the A stars. Would you say that, Brian?
I would say that. Yeah. I guess maybe. All right. One last one. Here we go. This one's a poll.
It's going to be
Everybody
10 out of 10.
What do you want to see next from the Microsoft student partners? Triangle, Power Apps. Diamond, Power BI. Circle, Power Automate. Square, Power Virtual Agents.
Okay.
Content do you want to see next?
Okay.
Yeah, what do you guys leave in the chat as well if there's a topic you want Brian to cover?
Virtual Agents.
Any topic from Microsoft as well?
Power Virtual Agents. Okay.
Yeah, I know Dawood wants to see some more Power Automate.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think AI Builder would be awesome as well.
Yeah, if you're all on the channel, I did share some learning content for Power BI the other day. So there's a PDF that you can follow there.
Sure. So we will just get it and repost it so that you can have it as latest and then get it. All right. So no problem at all.
So for those of you who aren't in the channel, I guess we should get the link for that.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
that's a shareable document, right?
here's the big reveal. How did we all do? I think we know though. Power Addict, 7
Oh,
out of 10. Pretty
Good
nice.
job, Power Addict. Good
You
job.
get a ton of
Yeah.
points for getting the speed, huh? 10 out of 10.
oh,
That's
Whoa.
insane.
oh,
Who is
growth.
Growth? Who is that?
As the name goes, growth.
Everyone's
Very
gonna say it's me. And
That's what
everyone's
runners
just
up.
gonna claim it's them in the chat. It was me. It was me. It was I,
It's me
Julius
on my
Caesar.
mobile device.
That's so amazing. We would love to see most of your names coming up, in our leadership, our leaderboard, right? So maybe we will get the swag to you, right next to you. Someone is just watching. We'll get the swag to you. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. This was actually fun. I think the questions were pretty much great, and we know what's next to show you. Brian, what do you think? What are we going to teach next?
I'm thinking if you all voted for Power Apps, happy to do another Power Apps one.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean that would be awesome.
Yeah, we could build on whatever we did today, and then I think it was awesome. We review new stuff, very very new stuff in this session. So let's see, maybe Power Apps again.
Yeah. I
All
think that
right,
would be
we are
amazing.
way over time, so I wanna thank you all for having me again, Salman and Dawood and Sabiha. Thanks for having me again.
No, it's
I
a
love to show
pleasure to
this
have you.
stuff. It's it's great. All right, I'll hand it off to you guys to.
Thanks so much, Brian. It's been wonderful. It's been a learning experience for the past weeks, and I'm sure everyone who joined this call today also felt the same. So hopefully, next meeting we'll meet again on Power Apps.
Yeah, go check out Brian on Twitter. Check out all the amazing stuff he does. It's really inspiring.
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
I actually realized Brian had a YouTube channel. Or was it a YouTube channel or a website I saw? 8-bit Club.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I have a website as well. The
Yeah.
website not updated since I've come here.
Okay.
But yes, I do have some
I
videos.
found it. I'll link it in the chat.
Cool.
Yeah.
They're amazing stuff. There are so much amazing stuff. Anytime you just feel like getting much, inspired, just go to Brian's channels and see. And check out these videos that we just did. They are so much inspiring. Just make sure you check it again. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you everyone for joining. The recording will be available. Did we have the winners? Are we giving them plushies? Did you say for the platypus? Or
No,
is that a future thing?
I actually said in the future. Yeah, so they should just keep joining. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll plan something amazing for our audience. Definitely.
Yeah. So I believe it's like Shadrach. Brian, that the person in first was you, right? On your phone, or was that someone else?
No, I'm not number one.
So whoever's
I'm not
number one, if you're not an MSP, I mean, we can get you a certificate for like winning. The other two of you were MSPs, I believe. So you can make your own, or we can make one for you. But yeah, it's been amazing. I'm sorry at the beginning, like my microphone was muted, so I was like talking, and then Brian was responding, and David was responding. It might seem like they were talking to no one, but I was just muted on the stream. So apologies for that. And again, thank you so much to Dawood, Sabiha, Brian for all of this. It's really amazing, taking their time out of the day to do this, and it's a Saturday. So stay tuned for more. Brian will hopefully be back, and more topics to come soon. And we might even have some, we're actually planning more with other Microsoft employees to do talks. So we're focusing it based on what the audience wants. So if you want to talk on C#, we can get someone to do that. So you want someone who wants to do .NET, like ML.NET, ASP.NET, just let us know. We can try find people for that, and we'll get in touch.
Yeah, and stay tuned on our Twitter handle. Yeah, we'll be posting a link that you can just fill or follow it up and then tell us what exactly you want to be seeing in most of the MSP Inspire sessions that will be holding. But once again, I want to disclose something to you that we have podcast coming up. All right. Maybe Brian might be the first person on the podcast again. All right. See you guys. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you all so much.
All right.
Any
Goodbye.
closing remarks from anyone else? Well, Brian, do you want to say anything else?
I think that's good. Just keep on making things. Make the time, take the time to make the time is how I think about it. That's how I spend my weekends.
Absolutely. Cool. Thank you so much. Keep inspiring everyone. Learn, share, and inspire. And we'll see you next time. Next Saturday for a cool talk.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
Someone play the video for them to end. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Hey, Brian. I think.
We see the sunrise in front of us as our life unfolds and stories told. We stand alone. Shadows automatically innocent, counting down, we're counting down to the end. We see the sunrise in front of us as our life unfolds and stories told. We stand alone. Shadows automatically innocent, counting down, we're counting down to the end. We see the sunrise in front of us as our life unfolds and stories told. We stand alone. Shadows automatically innocent, counting down, we're counting down to the end. We see the sunrise in front of us as our life unfolds and stories told. We stand alone. Shadows automatically innocent, counting down, we're counting down to the end. We see